All right, guys, welcome back to Draw Along Doodles with Walker. Excited you're here for our vehicle edition. Vehicles are a big thing at our house. My daughter loves a plane or a truck or a car. If it has wheels, we're a fan. So we're going to do kind of an old-timey looking biplane. Now, obviously, it's longer side to side, so it would help you if your paper is horizontal. The first big shape of the body overall is like a lemon. You could also think of it like a football or an eyeball. So I'm going to start from about the middle of the paper. I'm going to go up and over. And then I'm going to reverse that curve underneath. Okay, good. So I've got the overall body of the airplane. Now what I need to do is come in and I'm going to add the rudder on the back of the plane. So I'm going almost straight up, curving, and then I'm going to angle down. Looks like a Dorito. Then I need the place where the little pilot would sit. So in the middle of this eyeball right here, I'm going to come and make a U. So I'm going to start my U right here. And the back needs to be a little bit higher than the front. So I'll come up. Now it's a little bit more J-like. And then I will arch this back to my rudder. I think I like the height of that right now. All right. Now this is the front of our plane. And in the very front, we're going to have the propellers spinning. So I'm going to come on the end of that cone and I'm just going to round it off with a curve to make it more conical. Then from the tip of that curve, I'm going to make like a seed or a leaf shape. It's not quite a teardrop because the sides are really straighter than that. So there's one side of the propeller. We're going to come to the bottom. And we're starting from that same place, from the tip of that cone. And there's the other side. Might also think of it like a flower petal. Now, I do want to be able to have a little bit of 3D with it. So, from the middle up here, I'm going to come and make a small line that's imitating that curve. That way it looks as though I can see the edge of it instead of just the front of it. And now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do it on the opposite side of this one. A small line that's a little bit wider, creating the edge of that blade. Okay, now a windscreen would be very important. That way, if a flying goose or something else hits you, it doesn't get in your way. So we're going to come and curve that U further up. Go higher than you did for the back. You need it to be a little bit higher so that your aerodynamics work out. Then we're going to arch down to about the middle of the front. All right, don't you look cool? All right, I'm going to erase inside that U so that I can come in and put the pilot seat and I don't know if it's a wheel or a joystick or what you want to call it, but whatever he's driving with. So I'm going to go up for a seat, a little width to it, and then I'm going to curve down. And then for the control, that works. I'm going to come up, make a slight, almost parentheses kind of shape, and give it some width, like a macaroni. Okay, now, obviously this plane doesn't have wings yet, which makes it very suspicious. So we need to fix that. What we'll do is we'll come start right where this cockpit is, and we're going to make a really big arch where the arch comes up the most in the center. And then we're going to kind of mark where that center is. That'll help you out. So that's about where the center of that is. And I'm going to make the bottom more of a rounded triangle than an arch. So I'm coming down and back up. Since we're seeing it side on and it's foreshortened, it's going to look a little bit strange until you get it in your mind. Now, obviously we would be able to see the edge of the wing. So we'll come in and add a line so we can kind of separate out the edge of the wing. And then we need the other little piece back here. So I'm going to come a little bit higher than this. And I'll go across. Now I'm going to come down with my triangle. And I am going to still round the bottom because we're still going for kind of a cartoony, old-timey looking plane. All right. Now we need the body separation and we need wheels. So to separate the body, I'm going to start from the middle of the wing and come forward, the middle of the wing, and come back. Now for the wheels, obviously they would prop forward a little bit, so straight down wouldn't work. But you're going to have a V that angles forward slightly. Then you're going to make a rainbow. Curve that rainbow underneath, so now it looks a little bit like a dome. And then come in and add your wheel just ever so slightly smaller than the dome's bottom because it would have to fit inside there. Now, to make it look like our other wheel is on the other side, we're going to come and make that V a little bit further front and a little bit shorter than this one. Okay. Now, remember this wheel is in back, so it is being overlapped. So when I make my rainbow, to make the top of my dome, and then to come and curve the bottom, if any of it falls in the path of that first wheel, just let it fade off and go behind it. And then I'm going to make that slightly smaller wheel. Excellent. Okay. Now I like to put rivets, which is that little combining of metal. I like to have the rivets on my plane because it's old-timey and it looks cool. Now, once again, that's a total taste thing. You don't have to. I'm also going to add some stripes. Let's see, I want a stripe here. And you know what? I'm going to do a circle with a star in it. All right, so there's a stripe. My circle's going to be overlapping it. And we'll come in and make a star. When I go to Sharpie, I won't worry about sharpieing the lines that cross over each other. I'll just Sharpie the edge of it. And since I've got that on there, I think it probably would be good to have a stripe here too. So I'm going to make it angling and getting smaller. Because remember, we're foreshortening. And then it's just going to go straight down over that edge. Okay. So we are going to Sharpie. It can be a little tricky. Just be patient as you go. All right, first things first. Let's get this wing back here. All right. Then this wing is very far forward, so we're going to get it. Now the propeller is your next most forward thing. Okay. I'll get the outer line first, and the inner line, the outer line, and the inner line. Okay, so here's what we've got so far. The next key for me is going to be to go in and make my V's for my wheels so that I don't forget them. Okay, then I make my dome. and my wheel underneath. Okay, now we do want the body to come along, so just so that you know where it's going to be and where it will overlap that wheel, why don't you go ahead and Sharpie that. Now we have a real clear idea of where that V needs to start. All right. The dome and the wheel. Okay, I'm going to come and do my rudder in the back. And then remember that this is that higher back for the chair. Okay. Now I am going to separate this extra bump in the front because it's the windshield. All right, and last but certainly not least of the non-detail parts is my chair and my control stick. All right, the stripes, the star, the rivets, those are all details. And we know that it helps if your details are smaller so that they don't distract the eye. So I'm going to start on the tail, simply because I'm thinking about being careful and not accidentally going over all the lines in the star. I just want the outside. Then I've got the stripe coming behind it. Excellent. All right, now we have this line. It's kind of separating out the edge of the wing from where it's coming down. And I'm going to get that angled line and then straight down. The angled line and then straight down. All right, well, last but not least, draw the line that's separating the body of the plane from top to bottom. And I'm going to add my little rivets. All right, guys, you have an old-timey cartoon plane. Have fun adding some colors, making it awesome. We'll see you again later. Bye.